We are live. My name is Alan Roberts. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm very excited to be here. Mark is coaching his kid in wrestling. He had his match moved and all like that. So Thomas, kick that kid's ass. Good luck, motherfucker. Awesome child. And we are live on all my channels, basically. We're on the MF and COO. We're on at Mark Lobliner. We're at Evening Rants on Rumble. We're at Alan Roberts Facebook. We're also at Alan Roberts on YouTube. And this is because I basically wanted to do a little bit of today's show, just kind of having some fun, poking some fun at people, because in the 2025s, in the 2025s, what the fuck's up, ADHD? But in 2025, this is what we do. And then we're going to get to some more serious stuff afterwards. But for right now, I really want to just have some fun with the big fat comment section. I'm really, people can say what they want, and I don't trust Zuckerberg and anything like that, but I have noticed a difference in the algorithm of Meta. And this comes from somebody that has been very seriously suppressed across social media platforms for a long time, for 5 years, basically. And I've noticed that not only is my Instagram growing, but that the comment sections have become amazing. Now, for those of you that are unaware of my history, if you just are here because of Mark, I have basically fought against the fat acceptance community since its inception, to the point where there's literally a documentary about how they went after the people that follow me and stuff like that. It's called The Dark Side of Fat Acceptance. You can watch it on Tubi. And it was almost impossible on Instagram for years to even say anything possibly negative about a fat person. And I understand that people don't want to feel bad about themselves, but if you are a 400-pound woman, you should feel bad about it. And I know, oh my God, he's so mean, but how should you not? What is meaner, saying, hey, you're 400 pounds, you should lose weight, or here's a pizza to a 400-pound person? Like, if you think I'm mean because I encourage people to lose weight in a very blunt fashion, and you think that they should just be coddled and told that they're beautiful and everything's okay, I really think that you're the mean one. I am the counterbalance to your meanness, because you, frankly, are a horrible ass person encouraging somebody to basically, I don't know, eat themselves to death. Like, I'm told all the time that, oh my God, you hate fat people, you hate fat women, you hate fat people, blah, blah, blah. If I hated fat people, I'd tell them all to eat twice as much as they're eating. I'd say, eat all the pizza. Fuck it. You don't even need to worry about protein. Just go for straight sugar. Just like straight sugar, like spoonfuls of it. Eat it as fast as you can. If I really hated fat people, that's what I would do. But I do not hate fat people. I, in fact, was a fat people. And tomorrow marks my 4-year anniversary of my last binge. I had a binge in 4 years. I have binge eating disorder. And I have dedicated my life to trying to help make America healthy again. Mark and I have been using the phrase make America healthy again since before it was popular, because it's popular right now, but we said it 3 years ago and had t-shirts made up, and people were sending us death threats because of it. So we are going to enjoy every second of what is about to happen. And I wanted to point out also one more thing. If TikTok does end up getting banned and staying banned, fat acceptance dies. The fat acceptance community basically dies, because it is the only place left where you cannot say anything negative about a fat person. Like, you just can't say anything negative about a fat person pretty much on TikTok without them being able to delete your channel. Like, I had a channel deleted today, just so everybody understands. Like, I had a viral video talking about the fat ass fire chief that wouldn't carry a person out, and that channel. I even told my wife, as soon as I go viral on TikTok, I get deleted, because I have had probably 10 different channels, all of which climbed anywhere from 10,000 to 150,000 followers, and the very second I go viral, gone, just gone. So it got deleted today. You can find me on the TikTok at my new one, the that MFer Alan Roberts. So is what it is. So, and I don't even care to post stuff there, because it's likely going to get banned for at least a couple days. Trump will probably save it, and I think he should. Even though it fucking hates me, I think he should. What our government should do, by the way, is make sure that nobody gets suppressed and everybody has equal say. That is the voice of the people. That is truly the town square. If everybody has an equal voice and is allowed to say what they can say, then public opinion is what it goes by. But when you allow one group to suppress another group, speak loudly, and you suppress the speech of another group, that is not free speech. That is censorship and suppression and against our First Amendment rights. And that's what the Biden administration did with Facebook, Twitter, and everything like that in 2021, which is why they should all be put on trial for treason. I don't know. I don't even understand how they're not at this stage. We know that they used our taxpayer money to suppress true things. And even if they weren't true, they used it to suppress taxpayers. Like, we paid them to suppress us. They should all be on trial for treason right now for that. Just that alone. Just that alone. Get alone the other cajillion things I can think of over the 2020s. But a little fun, and then I'll get back to the serious shit, because there are a few serious shit things I want to talk about today. But this young lady, and by young, she's a young old lady. And what I mean by young old lady is she's young chronologically. I'd imagine in her 20s. But that for her is about 3/4 of the way through her life. This is, she calls herself Big Brave Babe. If you were brave, you wouldn't be big. I'm just saying it. Like, frankly, it looks like AI. It looks like it really does. And this says, POV, doctor said you're healthy. If that is true, get a new doctor. But you're absolutely not healthy. And what's wild to me is that this is a result of political correctness. Like, this is a result of coddling obesity. This woman's 400 fucking pounds probably, you know, and she's standing there posing as if she's attractive. And if you find this attractive, it's not an attraction. It's a fetish. It's not attraction. It means it's like being attracted to dead bodies almost, because she's killing herself with food. This is reality. This is death walking. She hurts herself every single day with food. It is self-harm. This woman harms herself every day with food. It's not even an argument, because if she wasn't harming herself every day with food, she wouldn't look like the Stay Puft Michelin Man crossbreed, you know? And that's what, I mean, it looks like somebody inflated her. And that is tragic. And unfortunately, in the course of the last 6 years, this has been fostered to grow physically and socially. I can't believe it has 10,000 likes on it. To the 10,000 people that like this, you're fucking disgusting. All of you. Every single goddamn one of you. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to come try to ban me? You're going to come fucking tell me I'm an asshole? Great. But you are the ones that are clicking like when this delusional, mentally ill person that harms themselves pretends that she is healthy in any fucking way. Here's my thing. Even if the doctor, okay, so let's read what she writes. She says, I think people find it hard to believe that a plus-size girl, you're not plus size, you're multi-sized. You are 3 times the size you should likely be to be considered plus size. You are multi-sized. Why did it, plus size is everything that's over, that's overweight? No, you are multi-sized. You are multiple size. Or we could just use livestock size, or we could use, large appliance size, whatever you prefer. I don't care, but you are not plus size. You are enormous size. You are planet shaped. Whatever you want, we can do. I'm totally good with it. I don't care if you are or not, but reality exists, and you are not plus size. You are multi-sized. Reality exists. So I think people find it hard to believe that a plus size girl could be healthy. Yeah, no shit, because reality exists. One more time. Everyone's different. Everyone has different issues. I don't have diabetes, high blood pressure, any of that. Sure, give that shit a minute. But anyway, I might be big, huge, enormous, unbelievably rotund, fucking building size. I don't even know, big. Come on now. But I make sure I'm okay. It's my problem, and I'm not asking any opinions. At least she sees it as a problem. I will say that. At least she sees it as a problem. And I don't care if you're asking for opinions. You're asking for opinions the very second you put something online. Just like I am asking for opinions about my tattoos, about my bald-ass head, about all the things about me by going online and saying the things that people don't like to hear. I am asking for people's opinions, and you can feel free to have them. But to think that you're going to post stuff and not ask people's opinions. She wants people's opinions. She wants those 10,000 likes. She doesn't want negative opinions. Well, Instagram, thanks to the algorithm change, has not granted her wish. The only thing that almost took me out, have I told you that being morbidly obese does cause cognitive decline and executive function of the brain decline? Anyway, took me out a couple weeks ago was the flu. So if the flu can almost toke you out, that means you have eaten yourself to the frailty of an elderly person. I mean, don't get me wrong, the flu does kill healthier people sometimes, but it's normally because they got something else going on that they don't know about. Because that's just true. If you have good vitamin D levels, you are hydrated really well, you get daily exercise, and you catch the flu, it's almost healthier for you because your body builds up immunity to it, and you develop this thing called natural immunity. You know, that stuff that was completely seen as like conspiracy theorist stuff by in 2020. Natural immunity, somehow the thing that's kept us alive for eons, was seen as this conspiracy theory. Like your immune system doesn't exist. And what happens is you build up T-cell immunity also too, and that way, like viruses. Anyway, but it almost took her out. So she says, hashtag be careful. Be careful if you're walking in front of her. Big brave babe, love yourself. You do not love yourself. If you are this big, you do not love yourself. You can pretend all you want, but you don't love yourself. If you have a hard time wiping your own ass, you do not love yourself. If you have a hard time wiping your own ass from your own actions and you systemically every single day do not change those actions, that is self-hatred and self-harm. Period. Like, if you want to argue differently, please feel free. But if you have fattened yourself so much that you cannot reach around and wipe your own ass, you cannot get to your asshole to wipe the shit off of it after you go to the bathroom without a assistant device or having to stand up and do whatever, right? Step into the shower, as a lot of them do. If you've reached that size, stop lying to yourself and pretending that you love yourself, because you are trying to kill yourself. You are daily trying to kill yourself. If you are not trying to change what you are doing that is resulting in you being fat as fuck, you do not like yourself. This may sound super harsh, but in reality, that's what many people need to hear. And I wanted to just go here and read some of the comments. Oh my goodness. Brad Palumbo. Bruh. Dr. Pepper isn't an MD. I will fucking love it. That's me. The 500-pound person who you saw identifies as a doctor does not count. 100% have underlying metabolic dysfunction. Of course she does. You can even see it. You can see it. That's why there's the extra fat right here. That's she's definitely apoxic. And here's why, by the way. Thank you, Dr. Ryan, by the way. But here's why. Well, let's read the rest of his. Obesity-related factors, including higher oxygen demand, tons of excess tissue that feed oxygen to neurohormonal changes, which is changes in the brain, hormone changes in the brain. Diastolic dysfunction, that will be this will be undiagnosed until you have a heart attack, because thick hearts don't perfuse themselves well. Wish you the best though. So here's why anybody that's morbidly obese that tells you, well, I'm healthy, is full of shit, right? First of all, there is this thing called the structural limitations of connective tissue, bone tissue, cartilage, those sorts of things. And those limitations exist in the same world that fucking gravity exists. So every time you step down on something, there is 4 to 10 pounds. If say you go for a walk on a flat surface, there's 4 to 10 pounds of pressure per square inch on your knees. Okay. So as say you are a 200-pound male, which most 200-pound males in society look like Homer Simpson. Okay. Just saying that. Most 200-pound males in our society, they look like Homer Simpson, big pot belly, little tiny shoulders, fat as fuck. But for that 200-pound male, there is anywhere from 800 to 2,000 pounds per square inch on their knees every time they take a step, right? So imagine that person now puts another 800 to 2,000 pounds on there by gaining 200 more pounds. That's what she's done. She probably weighs 400 pounds, and there is probably 1,600 pounds to 4,000, 2 tons worth of pressure on her knees every time she walks on a flat surface. And by knees, I mean the things that look like they're missing from her legs as she's standing there. So It is impossible to believe that you are healthy when you're hurting yourself with every step you take, yet alone the fact that you don't get that big and that inflamed, because I can guarantee you if they took her C-reactive protein, it would show massive levels of inflammation, just massive levels of inflammation. But beyond the fact that she's damaging her load-bearing joints, her lower back, everything like that, her center of gravity has changed from what it should naturally be. Her center of gravity is actually a little higher and more forward than what it would be if she wasn't fat as fuck. Like, because physics, because again, reality exists. But here's another thing too. The heart is only meant to push blood to so much body, just as Dr. Ryan was saying. There's this thing called the ejection fraction of your heart. The ejection fraction of your heart is how much blood your left ventricle pushes out to the rest of your body, right? So that is anywhere normally for a healthy heart between 37 and 70%. Normally it doesn't get over 70% because if it were to completely have 100%, it would likely collapse the ventricle. And under 35% is considered congestive heart failure, right? So that does not improve. And honestly, because she is in a constant inflammatory state because of the junk she's putting into her body to make herself this big, as well as just being this big, which is a constant inflammatory state that normally causes things like neuroinflammation, which causes cognitive deficit, childish behavior, poor reasoning skills, fat people stuff. But because of how she treats her body, her ejection fraction of her heart is probably lower. It's probably on the lower end. I'm not going to say it is, but let's say it is 70%. Let's say for some fucking miracle, the ejection fraction from her heart is at 70%, right? Guess what? That's 70% if she weighed 150 pounds or 130 pounds. Now, I don't know how tall this fucking behemoth is, but this heifer is at least 3 times what the size she should be. So she's probably 400 pounds, 3 times the size she should be. So that means her heart, the size of her heart, is now pushing blood to 3 times the body. So even if it's perfect, it needs to beat 3 times as fast to get enough blood to her body so she doesn't, start rotting away. So the tissue doesn't start dying, which, by the way, is what happens when they get type 2 diabetes and they develop inflammation of their arteries and everything like that. It causes circulatory issues, and then the skin and tissue just rots. And if they don't get it amputated, it just falls off. Like it's disgusting, and then they die. And even with amputation, the average lifespan is 2 to 5 years for anybody that gets a lower limb amputation. So, but this is why that they can't possibly be seen as healthy. But let's get onto the comments again. As a plus size girl myself, Blackheart, I'm not going to go to your thing. I used to think the same thing. Just know it catches up to you. I'm 35 with 2 kids, and now my sugar is going up. Of course it is. My joints hurt, and my BMI is maxed out. It will catch up to you, love, just like it did me. I also used to think I was fat but healthy, but I have realized I was very wrong. I'm trying to change. You don't need to change for anyone, but for yourself and for your future health. Blackheart, that is amazing. If you're watching, that is amazing, amazing advice. I wish you nothing but the best. If you are trying very, very hard, I often outline on my other channel, or on my main channel, I often outline very simple free advice, such as making sure you're getting plenty of hydration, sleep, stress relief. Try to eliminate ultra-processed foods. There are tons of supplements. We have No Morbidity. We have Alchemy. Alchemy helps people kick sugar cravings and sugar addiction. No Morbidity kind of just blunts your physical hunger. But good for you. I wish you nothing but the best. Walmart docs would say anything for $25.35. You and the world knows you ain't healthy. Doctor is definitely a hack. Your doctor, a marine biologist. Damn. Find a doctor who doesn't lie to you. You can't be obese and healthy. Very fucking true. Thank you very much. This is the same as saying a heavy smoker is healthy because he doesn't have lung cancer. That's Sarah. That's excellent. Excellent point. Thank you very much. Calling yourself plus size is your first problem. Fat and no self-awareness. Exactly. Obesity is the highest form of beauty. You're a disgusting pig if you said that. Your therapist is not your doctor. I'm a doctor, and say that's not healthy. Is the doctor in the room with us now? So funny. Dr. Pepper is an MD. That's Brad. Okay, we already saw that one. The 500-pound person who saw you as why just go back to the very beginning? What the fuck? Oh, I hate that it does that. See, there we go. Paid for his diploma or just sick of your shit. If you were cremated, it would cause a grease fire. That's true. That's true. People her size need a special crematory if they want to be cremated. Normally one for like animals, like because there's so much fat content, it actually can ignite and destroy. Many funeral homes are burnt down because as they go to cremate a morbidly obese person, the fat catches fire, it gets too hot, and it causes the place to burn down. And that's not a joke. You can look it the fuck up. That's true. The heart disease at 30 is going to be real healthy. He must be identifying as a doctor. Which one? McStuffins. Who's your doctor? Anthony Fauci. Very good point. Very good point. Very good point. Doctor Now, how you doing? Me when I spread false information on the internet. I love that. I have PTSD from going to the doctors. Every time I go, they tell me I need to lose weight. Let's see here. That's because you need to lose weight, probably. You're one of the, she's a Latina Barbie Jess. So in other words, your biggest asset is your ass. Great. That's going to go well. Your kids will be proud. Actual doctor, Dr. McStuffin. Is that an inflatable suit? Doesn't it look like it one? It looks like one, I think. It really does. No knees is wild. And notice how, notice how they bend in already. Like, see how it comes in like that. Like, so her knees almost touch. See, that's because she has so much weight on her load-bearing joints that they're sliding in. She is very prone for ACL tears. Women are more prone for ACL tears than men anyway, because there's a difference in the structure of the hip socket from men to women for women to give birth. That's why if you just claim to be a woman, you're not actually a woman. You're a trans woman. And there's nothing wrong with being trans. It's so weird. We went through that little phase for a while where it was like, trans women are women. No, they're trans women. And if you say trans women are women and you're trying to avoid the word trans, isn't that transphobic? Like, if there's nothing wrong with being trans, why do we have to say that trans women are women? Why can't they just be trans women? If there's nothing wrong with being trans, why can't we just say it? But no, the whole trans movement got really upset, most of them, because you were saying that you're a trans woman, but you're just as much of a woman as any other woman, but you're not. And it's almost like in your denial that you're trans. So are you transphobic towards yourself at that point? Just things that make my ADHD ponder. I don't know. Doctor lied to you. Well, she only has to lie for a few more years. That's morbid, funny, and sad at the same time. Bro got his PhD from Timu. Me when I lie. That's funny. Bro got his PhD from Cracker Jack. When I'm delusional, that's funny. Doc said you're morbidly obese. They lied. Western doctors, it probably is a Western doctor, because our healthcare system wants you fat, sick, weak, and dependent. Like, you're telling me that this woman's not in pain, or if she's not in pain now, she's going to be. And again, one more time, she literally has trouble wiping herself. You can see that the arms would not reach her ass. It's wild. Oh, that's mean. Liar, pants on fire. I love it. Not going to starve anytime soon. Hell no. How many calories do you eat in a day to achieve that build? I would argue that she probably eats anywhere between 3,800 and 4,800 calories, unless she is gaining weight, which probably 5,500 calories to 6,000 calories. And she thinks that she's starving. Oh my God, I'd say seek help seems like they failed already. At this point, just end at the very, it's really sad that she believes this stuff. This is why I have such a hard time with this stuff. It's like, we don't live in the real world when we try to do this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as if you say identify as they, them, like you're neither. Well, that's not true. And just because you identify as that doesn't mean that I need to buy into your delusion. I have no problem with you thinking that you're not male or female. I don't. That's your mental illness to deal with, and I don't give a shit. But you demanding that I also kind of coddle your mental illness, that's not going to happen. I refer to people as they present. For instance, I know that Blair White is a biological man, but I call her all the time because she looks like a female to me. Now, just because she looks like a female to me I've had so many people ask this. Does that mean you date her? First of all, she's young enough to be my daughter. You fucking sick fucks. The world is run by pedophiles. I fucking swear. But secondly, no, because I'm into women. Like, I'm happily married and into women. Like, it's always like, if you weren't married, would you date her? Like, no, because I'm into women, not trans women. And ooh, she is young enough to be my daughter again. And I would still call her my daughter if she was my daughter, because I don't care. Like, it does not affect me. And she will be the first one. I interviewed her years back. She'll be the first one to say that she presents this way to help her with her gender dysphoria. She's very based about it, and I think very well adjusted about it. And that to me makes sense. Just like Bucky. Bucky is a trans man who is a biological woman, but I call him because he looks like a he to me. And I don't have an issue with him calling himself him. It's when, like, you get the Jeffrey Marshes of the world that have a beard and want to be called they, them, or she, her, when you're rocking the beard looking like a man. Like, I'm not going to feed into your fucking delusion just because you think that you can tell me to. You are nobody to me. I don't give a fuck if you're mentally ill. I'm not going to coddle your mental illness. I am going to call you how you present to me. That is how I identify you. You can identify you as you. You can identify me as however you want to. I have had many people ask, like, well, what happens if somebody would call you ma'am? I'd laugh because I know I'm not a female. I would think it's funny. I would not give a shit. Half the time I joke around saying I identify as a black woman because there was this thing where there's a stereotype of black women that they shout real loud. They have a lot to say. They're angry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, shit, that sounds like me. It's a dumbass stereotype, but that sounds like me. So I must be a black woman. I identify as not only a woman, but a black woman. And then people lost their fucking minds and got really fucking pissed. Anyway, can we just take a minute of silence to pay respect to all those unclothed children out there who are going without so you could wear whatever this is on your ugly ass body? God damn, Father in heaven, I bow before you on this day to confess my sins. I have laid my eyes on something so unholy and utterly damaging to my soul that I fear I may be lost to the darkness forever. I beg of you, Father, just remove my memory of this unholy sight forever. I pray that one day you purge this world of these unsightly beings once and for all, so that the little children of those poor, behaggard single mothers can once again afford food. God bless America. Good God. Mentelier, that is fucking wow. Wow. About as healthy as a large sandwich. No, definitely not. We all know you're lying. I bet he's got a diploma online during coronavirus. That's funny. Some doctors also think men can be women. Doesn't make it true. Very, very, very good point. And we're going to get onto that here in a second. Probably in all caps, like, you're too heavy. He said heavy. You're too heavy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Ronald McDonald is not a doctor. Top 10 things that never happened. Okay. So we are going to pop away from there. Give me 1 second. I wanted to go somewhere here real quick. Okay. So we're going to go boom. 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 Now, for those of you that aren't following Becky Weiss, I am. I'm a huge fan. She is into sports and fitness. She's a patriot and truth seeker. Please do go follow her. And I, by the way, for those of you that are on YouTube right now, I understand that you like what you want to do, but I do suggest that you go follow on Evening Rants. And you know what? I'm just gonna fuck it, because I think she does this really, really well, and this needs to be discussed. So here we are. It's about to get a little bit more serious, and I just want everybody to know that what I'm about to discuss is horrific. But it also highlights how horrible the healthcare industry has gotten, and the fact that they don't even care about your health at all in many, many ways. But this is even worse than this. This is so wildly disgusting. I can't even get over it. Right. But and Becky, I wanted to, if you ever see this, I wanted to personally thank you for covering this the way you did, because this, I don't know how you did a great job. This is make fitness great again. I love that. But this is wild.
Around today, so we are going to talk about it. First and foremost, I have chosen not to play the video because frankly it is difficult to watch, and secondly, I am covering the individual's face out of respect for this individual because I do believe that we are looking at an extremely serious case of medical malpractice as well as medical abuse.
I agree.
Something you should be aware of: this is not a medically necessary double mastectomy for breast cancer or anything of that nature. This is an elective transgender surgery that was performed on a nonverbal, extremely disabled individual. The following video was posted to this individual's Instagram account right before this individual underwent surgery. What kind of doctor? What kind of doctor would perform this surgery on an individual who is as incapacitated as this? What type of money-chasing pile of garbage, human piece of shit thinks that this is okay? Oh, and it gets worse. It gets worse. Leading transgender doctor insists that nonverbal autistic minors can consent through their drawings because they can draw their feelings, okay? It gets worse again because they say that if someone cannot consent, it's discriminatory. If you think this is anything other than malpractice and abuse done in the name of money, you are out of your freaking mind. This is fucking unacceptable.
It is.
I'm sure a lot of you have seen this.
It is absolutely unacceptable. Wow. Try not to get my channels deleted here. Society will continue to suffer from what we allow. It is very clear that the health establishments will not do anything about this. That for this to have happened in general is so gross. And the fact that it's happening now, it's been happening. This whole thing is the reason I don't even, I'm trying to collect myself here because like we have to stop this. Like, we the people, at some point in time, I don't give a fuck if you voted for Biden or Harris or any of those fucking losers. I don't give a fuck if you voted for Trump. I don't give a fuck if you think Trump is the savior of the goddamn world or if Biden's the savior of the fucking world. We the people, we're the people, right? If you stand for that, you do not stand for good. Like, this is wild to me. Like, I'm pretty well known as being atheist / agnostic, right? The last 4 years have shown me that there is true, there's true evil in the world. For the things that have happened in the last 5 years to have transpired, the basically medical experimentation on the entire population of the world for either money and or power. And then this, like, it's one thing, like, don't get me wrong. If you're an adult and you want to fuck your body up, get to it. Like, I don't give a shit. As long as it's not costing me anything, which is another reason why I have a whole other issue with shared healthcare burden, because some people don't take care of their health and they are then become more burdensome. And then we all have to fucking pay the burden. I think that's completely unfair, and we should decouple that. Because if you want to fuck your health up and you pay for that 100%, I don't give a fuck. That's on you. That is your freedom. I believe in personal liberty. I believe in personal freedom. If you want to fuck yourself up, fuck yourself up. But I shouldn't have to pay for it. It shouldn't impact my life. The second it impacts my life, you shouldn't be allowed to do it no more. Or I should stop you from doing it. Our government should be stopping this bullshit. It should be to protect the people, not protect the corporations. And right now it's protecting the corporations. The healthcare industrial complex makes the military industrial complex look like nothing on a global scale. Get there faster. we in America have a 4.5, likely 4.7 trillion dollar healthcare burden per year. Per year. Healthcare burden. That's our taxes, our insurance, and out-of-pocket costs for the people of the United States is probably $7 trillion by now, because it keeps climbing. They want you fat, sick, weak, and on daily medication. They want you to be the battery that runs their machine. Think of The Matrix. I'm sure everybody's seen it, where they use humans as batteries. They're using you as a battery right now. They are the evil machine. They are sucking, instead of energy out of you, they are sucking money out of you and power out of you. They are keeping you weak and enslaved. $4.7 trillion per year for all of us to share in is slavery. They have enslaved us. It is not even a matter of like, and I'm a big Make America Healthy Again person. Mark and I probably are the first people to say the phrase. We have t-shirts from years ago with it on it. We cannot make America healthy again unless we open our eyes to the fact that they want us fat, sick, weak, and dependent. Period. And the evidence is everywhere. The evidence is consistently all over the place. It is not even a question. We are public health officials, the doctors, since we went to the Rockefeller style of doctoring, basically pharmaceutical first basis, meaning that Rockefeller paid off pretty much and bought off all of the institutions, all of the accrediting agencies, all of the medical schools, and made them pharmaceutical first. And then they did whatever they could to paint naturopaths and things like natural ingredients, supplements, everything like that, as like snake oil. And it's wild that they call supplements, by the way, snake oil. And here's why I think it's so funny. They call supplements snake oil, even though like things like berberine is likely better for people that have metabolic dysfunction than metformin, because metformin has a lot of side effects where berberine doesn't. And berberine in all sorts of human clinical trials has shown to perform just as well, if not better, than metformin. But most doctors have never even heard of it. Do you know why? Because they actually sell oil. Most pharmaceuticals are petroleum-based. Like, it's wild to call supplements snake oil when pharmaceuticals are actual oil for the most part. And that's fucking true. I mean, it's hard to understand how people don't get that, right? But to be real, like let's be honest, right? If we don't change our ways with this, if we don't alter what we do, if we don't alter what we see, if we do not make it so that we don't trust our doctors, you should never trust your doctor. Your doctor should be able to explain every motherfucking thing to you in language that you understand. And if they cannot, they should not prescribe you anything or give you any treatments, because that is malpractice. See, the way informed consent works, you know, that thing that we killed in 2020 because they didn't give a fuck if you had informed consent. You were going to take the medical procedure. You were going to take the gene therapy no matter what, because trust your doctor. And don't you shouldn't do your own research. Remember them saying that stupid shit? Well, when you go to your doctor and your doctor says, hey, you have some sort of metabolic disorder, which, by the way, I will argue that most MDs are completely not qualified to prescribe anything for metabolic disorder. They have no idea of how it's caused unless they seek it out on their own. They literally do not take nutrition classes. Metabolic disorder is a lifestyle disorder. All like diabetes, most cardiovascular disease, liver disease, those sorts of things are lifestyle disorders. They treat the symptoms of the illness, but they can't treat the illness. It is sad to say that my wife and I have probably reversed more cases of type 2 diabetes than the average doctor has, because we have dozens. People that came to us on medications and left not on medications because we changed their lifestyle. And then the insulin resistance slowly goes away and their body starts functioning normally because they treat it like it's supposed to be. But doctors will tell you that you have type 2 diabetes, here's your metformin, here's your insulin, this is the rest of your goddamn life. That's malpractice. Your doctor should be able to explain everything about a medication to you, including every single possible side effect in language that you understand, how long you're going to be on it and why you're going to be on it and what it does to your body and any possible ramifications you have from it in language you understand. If they cannot, you do not have informed consent. There should be no trust. There should be informed consent. That is just period. There should never, ever be trust in the medical. You are trusting people that make more money when you're sick. That's stupid. You're a moron if you do that. You should not trust your MD. Your MD should earn your trust every single doctor visit by explaining to you exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it, what they want to do about it, and the time frame it takes. And if they can't do that, they are not a good doctor, which means most doctors are not good doctors. And by the way, for any of you doctors out there, if you're disagreeing with me, you are disagreeing with informed consent. You should turn your motherfucking license in, assholes. Anywho, I'm going to call it an early night because I want to go hang out with my lovely wife. I hope that all of you have a fabulous evening. Mark and I will be back this coming Monday for Evening Rants. I hope to see all of you there. My name is Alan Roberts. You can follow us at Evening Rants on Rumble, Evening Rants on YouTube, the MFing COO on Twitter, and at Mark Loveliner on Twitter. And you can also download the app Spreely on your smart TV and watch us live right from your big screen TV. And we will be back on Monday. I hope all of you have a great time. God damn.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss, it's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.